One of my clients recently sent me a study and wanted to know my opinion, and so I'm going to give it. It basically was a headline that said 3 studies with over 500,000 people indicate that the low-carb diet or ketogenesis is not healthy or leads to a shortened lifespan. So when you read that, what do you think it means? Right away you think they've done a study with over 500,000 people that indicate that the ketogenic diet is bad for you and eating low carbs will cause you to die much sooner than the average person. Basically, that's what it implies. But if you really get into reading what it's about, I can almost guarantee you there wasn't anybody on a ketogenic diet in that study. Now, why do I know this? Because this was a study done by gathering studies from all over the world, and basically they compiled all the information and figured out the people that lived the shortest in all those studies that they compiled were on a low-carb diet. Now, I also want you to know that these were self-reported diets. Do you know what a self-reported diet is? It's an opportunity for you to sit down and try to remember what you ate in the last year, and then to lie about most of the things that you did eat because you don't want to appear to be eating a really bad diet to the person that you're giving the information to. So almost all science now is trying to do away with self-reported studies because nobody tells the truth. You know, it's just obvious. If you think that eating red meat is bad for you, you're not going to write down on that list that you ate red meat every single day of the week and turn that into a scientist who's compiling information about diet. People just don't do it. And besides that, let me ask you a question. What did you eat last week? What did you eat on Monday? What did you eat on Tuesday? What did you eat yesterday? Most people cannot tell you what they ate yesterday. And yet, in these studies, they expect people to sit down and have a general idea of everything they ate for the last year. So basically, this study is worthless. Now, it did point out in the study that people that ate the fewest carbohydrates died sooner than the ones that ate a moderate amount. And the ones that ate the most carbohydrates died real soon too. So basically what they're saying is a moderate amount of carbohydrates in your diet will cause you to live longer than having too few or too many. Now, I have no argument with that. I think that it depends, again, on the type of carbohydrate you're actually eating. And this is something else that wasn't pointed out too much in the study. And the reality is if you ate most of your carbohydrates from vegetables, it's going to have a great impact on your longevity because that's the type of food that is probably the healthiest per calorie. In other words, it's the most nutrient-dense food that you could ever consume, and it's going to have a powerful beneficial effect to your health. Doesn't matter if you're a vegan or a meat eater, if you're consuming a large amount of carbohydrates from plants, it's going to have a beneficial effect on your longevity. So this is the problem with a lot of reports and a lot of studies, is that they're really not based on great information. It's all generalized information, and it's put out, and the people that read it think it's pure science, and it's not. Self-reporting studies, self-reporting diets, studies of this nature are simply supposed to be done to see if you can find some sort of correlation to a cause and effect, and then you have the information needed to actually do a real study. And so, again, this is why I know there probably wasn't a single person in that study that was on a ketogenic diet, because it's all just general information, self-reporting diet information from all around the world. The ketogenic diet's not that popular, believe me. If you've been hearing a lot about it, it's probably because you're listening to my site, and there's some few doctors and alternative practitioners around America that are pushing it, and it's finally now getting in the news. But that doesn't mean there's more than 2 or 3% of the population, even in the United States, which is crazy about new diets, actually trying that diet out. And so that's another reason why I know nobody in this study of this information that they compiled, which is probably from also 3 or 4 years ago, actually was on a ketogenic diet. So that's my take on it. The reality is that the ketogenic diet is a great diet, but it's also a therapeutic diet. And there's so many different variances of it that you could, I'm sure, if you're interested in that or needed to do it for your own health, that you can find a variance of it that'll fit right into your lifestyle and basically help you to deal with the chronic health issue that you may be experiencing.